Good morning, sir. Good
Good morning,
afternoon.
Ali. How are you? It's morning, by the way. Very interesting. Like,
Yeah,
oh, it's afternoon already in Nigeria.
yeah. So my
How are you
name is
guys?
Alia. I'm fine.
Is it just you or we have other people?
No, it's only me.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So I'm a secondary student, school student
Okay.
who is aspiring to be a project manager.
Okay.
So I'll be grateful if you could spare some time to enlighten me more about this career.
I'm at your service anyway. So, do you have
Yes,
specific questions?
yes, I have specific questions. So my first question is,
All right.
I have read about the job functions online, but I was wondering what does a typical workday in the life of a professional in this field look like?
All right, Alia. So, I will need to create I will need to establish some things so that is based on what I've already established that we can then build on. I really don't know much about how the knowledge you have, but I just want to give you the idea that project management basically is
Okay, sir, no
you can
problem.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say you can put them into three broad categories. We have like construction, let's say engineering, civil engineering kind of. We have IT, and then let me say others. Others, so many other category of project management scope we come under it. So always bear in mind we have construction, IT projects, and then we can say others. Okay, so for a typical day, depending on the type of project management industry you have you plan your day. Okay, then we have what we call the daily stand up. So normally all team members are supposed to report. This is very, very applicable in IT. All team members will call in. You try to know. It's like within 1 minute, you try to tell everybody what you did yesterday, and what you'll be doing today, and how people can come in to assist you. Do
Okay,
you
sir.
get that? Did you get? So we call
Yes,
that
sir.
one the daily stand. We call that one the daily stand up. And usually in your day too, it's advisable you create a to do. You have your meetings. Sometimes you have impromptu meetings, and they just depending on how important it is, you try to prioritize and maybe quickly bring up or push it to later in the day. As a project manager, you manage the budget. You also monitor the project progress. You plan and execute, and
Mm.
usually there's always a project progress reporting to your superior. Maybe you have a senior project manager you're reporting to, or you have a portfolio manager you have to report, or maybe any stakeholder. Stakeholder basically can be someone from your company, or maybe there's a product user, the person you're designing the project for. Let's say you're building a house, for example. Now, someone owns that house. Let's say you're building a road and you've been contracted by the ministry. There will be an engineer from the ministry. Maybe the person is available on site, or every day you have to feed that person back. There might be a document you have to fill. Oh, this is what we did today. This is the volume of resources we were able to use, and it looks like we're on track,
Yeah.
all that kind of thing. All right, thank you, Ali. I hope I've been able to do justice to that for the
Yeah.
typical.
So my
Uh,
next question would be, thank you so much for the answer. So
yeah.
what do you like most about being in this career? What aspects are most enjoyable for you?
So you know, one thing about project management is you're creating, you're bringing things to life. So you
Yeah.
can. I'm not sure of which building is the tallest in Lagos now. I think each time the engineer that supervises that project walks past that building, there is a sense of fulfillment that will accompany it. Or you can imagine planning maybe like an IT project, managing an IT project, for example. So imagine if you're working with the team that is designed, let me say something like Facebook. And anytime you see people go online, they're utilizing that product. There is a sense of fulfillment that comes with it. So I would say largely is meeting stakeholders' expectations, like people that gave the project to you to do, putting their expectation, uh, laudable solutions, like you created a solution and people are using it, and every now and then people are talking about how it has made their lives better, it's effective. Like you can just imagine all of those things, that the good outcomes that projects can have, and how people can credit those to you, how you feel. So essentially, that's what's interests a lot of people in it, like taking credit, knowing you're solving problems, and you're creating magic. Let me put it that way.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, what would you describe as the most challenging part of this career?
Yeah, as much as you can take the credits, as much as you can be offered flowers, sometimes it's not. It's a lot of challenges, and sometimes projects sometimes fail. And a project fails, and you are the manager. Of course, while drilling down to knowing why it failed, the fact is the project has failed, and you are the manager. So who failed, basically? Technically, as in looking at it from a glance earlier, who failed? The project fails. Who failed? I'm asking you.
Huh?
I said if a project failed, like without asking in detail, what made the project fail, who do you want to believe has failed already?
Is the manager, of course.
So something of that nature, before you can now drill down and realize, oh, I requested for 10 billion, the product owner only gave 1 billion. So that might
Oh,
be the reason why it failed. But looking at it like on a more general note, they can still tell you didn't manage the stakeholder properly. Why didn't you tell us providing 1 billion would not go a long way? We could have provided more, blah, blah, blah. Now they start tackling your ability to even manage stakeholder. The blame is falling back on your table. And another one is sometimes you have rapidly changing project scope. Of course, there is a style of project management that addresses that. This moment, they are telling you the road is just 100 kilometers, construct the road, we don't need drainages. And along the line, you're constructing different issues are coming up, or as an IT manager, they've already agreed with the product owner. These are the things you're creating, these are the features you want on an application, these are the features you want on a solution. And every now and then, they keep reaching out to you. How about we do it this way? How about we create this? How about, and before you know it, the entire job is all scattered, is scattered all over. The deadline is approaching. That might be one of the reasons why projects fail.
so how could
Projects
you
fail.
manage that situation? Like,
Yeah, so there is a methodology we call the agile methodology, and for it's actually designed for ever changing project and nature. And as such, you do not, um, no matter what the cost is, if the product owner tells you we need this to be done, you have to do it. Another one is being able to think through. Part of where the challenge comes from is not being able to think through the projects properly, what the needs will be. Like you didn't really sit the clients down, the product user or owners down, to know what they want. And as such, they are now thinking as you're trying to meet up with the small requirements they've been able to create for you from the onset. So I'll give you an example now. When you talk to, let's say you want to build a building, and you've gone to meet um, the client, like, oh, how what type of building do you want? You know what, I'm not sure of what I want, just build something. It's dangerous. But there are other things you can do. Oh, do you like story buildings? Yeah, I think just one story is okay. Like, how many rooms would you like? The person doesn't give you an idea of it. Now you know at least we need minimum of the story building. Then as other things come up, you're trying to redesign. And you must have seen this type of structure. Maybe,
Hello, Mr.
normally when
Malik.
we, yeah.
Sorry for cutting you short. She said she can't hear you.
Oh, Aliyah, sorry. Is it better now?
okay, yes,
So
sir.
I said, where was the last point you had me up to?
Like, how will you manage those challenging aspects?
All right. So I said, sometimes the product owners, they don't have clarity. They don't really know what they want. So
Okay.
as a project manager, you're supposed to be able to establish that clarity for them. because it will get you into trouble. Of course, we have a framework that we call the Agile framework that is designed for ever-changing project scope. Like even if the client changes the scope, you should be able to accommodate it. Of course, there might be a change in your budget because of that. Of course, there might be a change in delivery timeline. Oh, we plan is supposed to take just 3 months. Now the scope has changed, but not substantially. Instead of 3 months, oh, now we are looking at 3 months, 2 weeks. So it will depend largely on your skills and how well you are, how agile enough you are to be able to manage any of your clients and changing expectation.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're
So I
welcome.
know that will probably begin as an entry-level professional, but I would like to know what the growth
Yeah.
opportunities. Should I take it again? Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So the next thing I
Yeah,
would
you may
like to
want to
ask,
say that again. I said I can hear you, but you may want to take it again. You may want to take the question
yes,
again. Sorry, Ali, I couldn't hear you at some point.
yeah, it was TED Talk.
All right, all right. Please go ahead with your next question.
Okay. I know that will probably begin as an entry-level professional, but I would like to know what the growth opportunities or career advancement opportunities look like in this field.
Yeah, so Aliyah, the growth opportunity is quite enormous, and I know by the time I start mentioning it, except you studied extensively yourself, you'll be
Okay.
surprised. So we have, of course, like you said, the entry level, you can be a project coordinator where you have maybe like an assistant manager or a manager that you're
Mm.
reporting to. Then from a project coordinator, you can become an assistant manager yourself, where you're, of course, interfacing with the project manager directly. Then you have the opportunity of also becoming a project manager yourself. For some organizations, they have an additional level, which is the senior project manager level. Okay. Uh, so often you can find a project manager reporting to you yourself, or you're just reporting to another senior person. Then you can also from there become a portfolio manager, which means you are a manager in charge of more than a project, in charge of more than one project at a time.
Can
So
you
I just
take that one again?
so I say you can become a portfolio manager.
Okay, okay.
So portfolio basically is you have a road construction going on in Ojo that has been assigned to you to manage, and somewhere in Aja there is another one. That means the
Okay.
managers in charge of those projects, they will communicate with to you. Oh, this is the project, blah blah blah. Maybe there is another dam they are constructing in Badagry. You're also in charge of that one. Or let's say it's Haiti, as you're designing a website for Crystalens. You're designing a website for Holy Family. You're designing another tech solution for Lagos State University. You have individual project managers that are assigned to those projects, but you, as the portfolio manager, you are responsible for all those three projects. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So beyond that, you can also become like the organization that owns all of those projects, that is doing all of those laudable things for clients. There might be like a director level opening
Okay.
and you can apply, because that's you managing different portfolios now, and it's endless. You can also become the president, vice president of any of those companies depending on
You
what
want?
the president or vice president of those companies, so depending on what the growth pattern of the organization looks like. But you can actually head the organization itself. Let me just put it that way. Like you can grow from the entry level to becoming the most senior person in that organization as a project manager. Because come to think of it, everything they're doing there is projects. You get,
Mm. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Okay. So, what short-term projects can I embark on right now to help me explore this career further and test my suitability?
Yeah. So I would love you to look at it from the angle of the others I mentioned. I said a project can be as complex as the World Trade Center. Okay, you might not be able to relate to that. A project might be as complex as the coastal road the federal government is designing now that will go all the way from Lagos to the eastern part of the country. And it can be as simple as planning a birthday for your friend.
Planning a birthday.
Yeah, it can be as simple as that. Because you will need to know what the details needs to go into the birthday, what details needs to go into the birthday. If it's a surprise birthday, it becomes more tasking because now you don't want your friends to know. You're sourcing the venue, you're managing the invites, who and who will your friend like. So you can see it to be a team. It will be you sitting down with the family that brought the idea of the secret birthday, of the surprise birthday. What do you think he likes? What do you think she will like? Who are her friends? Who would she really love to be in her birthday? How does she like to dress up? Thinking about how you can even get her to measure, create an outfit. Of course, everybody doesn't want to look all nice at the party, and then the celebrant is looking shabby because it's surprise. It's a surprise, no. Like planning all of those, the food, the decoration, the gifts, things like that. So think of something. It doesn't have to be like
So
IT.
project manager, sorry sir, project manager is likely similar to event planner.
It's a part of it. I just need to very clear on that. So it can be as simple as planning a surprise birthday party.
Okay.
So because you have a budget, you have the expectations of you have a client, which is you have the product owner rather. It might not necessarily be the celebrant. The product owner in this case will now be the family that brought the idea. Oh, we want to plan a surprise birthday party for our daughter. They will be the one to tell you what they want. And now you give them a budget. You create a work breakdown structure of everything that you have to do, the vendors you are carrying along, how much you will need, the gift items, the souvenirs. You can see how those things are playing out. Then you assign tasks to people. Then you create a plan on how you want to implement. Of course, the project should come up on the day of the birthday anyway. So whether you like it or not, it must happen on that.
Okay.
On that. So you being able to do all of those, yeah, it's a good indicator you will be a good you are a project manager in the making. Anyway. So come up with something, yeah.
Will you be willing to support me on this? Perhaps reviewing my work to give feedback or facilitating connections to someone for a potential project.
Why not, Ania? I'm always at your service anyway.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. So nice to talk to you again.
Sorry, there's one last question actually.
All right, no problem.
So what other advice do you have for someone considering building a career in this field? Any additional advice?
Yeah, the possibility and the opportunities are endless. See, just like I said, coming in at an entry level and you're hiring the highest spot in the organization, if that part is available, I will advise that you start early. It's a lot of skill. I have to be honest. Network building, see people that have similar potentials, people that have gone far in that aspect that you can connect with and you can make your own journey to be kind of easy. Learn, try to read, and with God on your side, the sky is the starting point.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
You're welcome.
I've always admired professions in this field, and it will be such an honor to hear back from you, sir.
No problem. Anytime.
Thank you very much, sir, for the responses.
Yeah. Uncle Sydney.
Okay.
Hello.
Mr. Malik.
I hope that was clear enough, though.
Good afternoon, sir.
Well done. How is it going? Oh, can you stop recording? Peace.
Yes, sir.